Today we're moving right along on the SV650 race bike project. I've pulled the front end off the bike and removed the forks. We need to do the fork seals, get them ready for the race, and make sure they're not leaking. They did contaminate the brake pads, so we're going to need to change the brake pads. Now I did loosen these caps off in the bike and the clamps, because otherwise it's quite difficult in order to hold the tubes in order to get these caps off, so it was pre-loosened on the bike. As you're taking these out, put a lot of pressure in because a spring can cause the cap to jump out at you. There you go, cap's off. Dump out the oil, remove the spacers. Make sure you have an oil bucket ready to catch the oil. While we let the one fork drain, you can disassemble the other one. Watch for parts that are falling out so that you don't lose them in your oil bucket. Always make sure you're keeping the forks organized from left to right. That way you don't mix up components. Some fork manufacturers do use a left and right component inside. The next step is to remove the fork seal using the flat blade screwdriver. Use gentle pressure against the fork so you do not damage the surface of the fork. But pry the fork seal out and then remove the retaining clip. Now with a slide hammer action, you can tap the bushing out of the fork, separating the inner and outer tube of the fork. Drain and clean all parts. Cleaning parts in a suspension job is always very important. Inspecting all the wear items for any kind of damage that may occur and replace them as necessary. Move on to the second fork and repeat the steps, disassembling the fork. Now that both forks are completely disassembled, parts have been inspected and cleaned, we are able to reassemble the forks with new seals and oil. First, we assemble the fork by reinstalling the dampening rods and the screws in the bottom of the fork, securing everything in place. Using Half Moon seal installers, you can install the bushing and the washer. Inspect to make sure the bushing is all the way seated before continuing on with the seal installation. Always use assembly grease when installing seals on the fork. Do not forget to install the retaining clip. After both forks are assembled, it's time to fill the fork with oil with the proper amount and weight of oil for each fork. Bleed the fork by stroking the fork up and down multiple times until it feels consistent. Putting your hand over top of the fork and pressing down, increasing the air pressure in the fork, can also help get air bled out of the bottom of the fork. Reinstall the rest of the internals of the fork in the proper order that they were removed. After tightening the top cap and cleaning the fork for a final time, the forks are now ready to be installed on the bike. Coming soon will be the walkthrough of the completed race bike project. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Check out these other videos of this bike build. Thanks for watching.